Hello class, I'm talking with you about the museum paper, and it is due November 30th. And the first thing you're going to want to do is find a painting to write about. And I've provided some links in the next page that'll help you to find a painting to write about. Usually we'll go to the museum and take a field trip, but unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we won't be able to do that, so you will be finding an artwork online and writing about that. And then once you've chosen your artwork, you're going to write 1 to 2 pages about it, and you're going to be responding to these 3 questions: the what, how, and why of your chosen painting. And I'll explain that a little bit further in a moment. But before you write about the what, how, and why, you're going to want to introduce your painting. You're going to want to let me know who the artist is, what the title of the work is, if there is a title, and the date the painting was made. Also, you need to include a photograph of the painting, and just so I can see what you're talking about. Okay, once you've done those things, then you're going to answer these 3 questions, and you can answer these questions each in their own paragraph if you want. So the first question is, what is painted? Now, if it's a representational painting, you could look and describe the subject matter. So for example, there's 3 people in a forest. 2 are walking, 1 is sitting down. There's a body of water. There's a variety of trees and bushes. Now, in this case, it's important to be descriptive and specific, okay, as possible. Now, if you're looking at an abstract work, okay, something that's more abstract, something which perhaps has a series of gestural brush marks, then you could say, oh, well, maybe there's black marks painted on a beige canvas. You can describe how large the canvas is, and just describe in a matter-of-fact way what is painted. Maybe there's a series of swirls. Maybe there's jagged strokes in the corner. Whatever it is, describe what is painted. Then the next question is how it is painted. Okay, in what way or manner is it painted? So is it painted thickly, thinly, opaquely, transparently, precisely, loosely, in one layer and many layers? Describe this. Okay, and if it's a representational work, then you're going to want to consider, is it painted faithfully to what the eye would see, so in a more realistic manner, or is it painted more expressionistically, where arbitrary color is used and such? Lastly, you want to consider, why do you think it is painted? Now, painting can serve a variety of purposes, depending on what culture it's in, and depending on the goals of the artist. So you want to consider, what you think the cause, reason, or purpose was for creating the painting. And, some possibilities could be, it could be just to describe an emotion. It could be to depict an optical experience, like with Impressionists. It could be to convey an idea. Perhaps it could be to aid in a religious ritual, or it could be a number of these things. Okay, so consider, why do you think it was painted? What was the purpose? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through an artwork, and this is artwork that we went through in the last last check-in meeting. We talked about this artwork. But I'm just going to go through and kind of just briefly answer these 3 questions. So this is a work that I found through the Whitney link, and this work is done by Salman Tor. It's called Bar Boy. It was made in 2019. So if I were to write about this, I would first state, the name of the artist, the title of the painting, and the date it was made. And then I would include a photograph of the painting. Once those things are done, in my paper, I would then answer these 3 questions. Okay, so in this, what is painted? And you could say that, well, there's an individual who's standing, near the middle, who's holding a drink. This individual is in a bar. Okay, that looks like it's at night. There's a variety of people in this bar. Some are resting. Some are talking. Some are dancing. All right. And then, you go into more detail. But let's go on to the next question. How it is painted. Or how is it painted? Okay. Is this painted in a photorealistic manner? I'd say no. I'd say it's painted more in an expressionistic manner. Okay, there's visible brushstrokes. I think there's some arbitrary use of color here. There's lots of greens. And perhaps there may be some greens that you could see, but it seems like they're kind of emphasized and exaggerated for expressive effect. There's also some distortion of form, like in the way that this person's back is. It's curved. And I think this is to perhaps describe a feeling of being tired. Okay, so it's painted, I would say, in an expressionistic way. All right, so then you could go on to talk about why do you think it is painted. And this is open to interpretation, just as the other questions are. And I would say, if I had to give a stab at this, I would say that I think at least one of the reasons it's painted is to describe a certain feeling of being in a bar, and the certain feeling of these individuals in the bar, which really run the gamut of feelings from sleepy to kind of perhaps whatever feeling he has, to cheerful, to talkative, romantic. I think that's part of the reason that this was made, is to describe that feeling, and really how each of these people have different feelings, which contribute to the overall collective experience at this bar.